Beams of light amidst darkness. We saw it. The eternal clash between the structures of order and shadows of chaos. Slowly, despite their struggles, the war gave way to the grass and the sway of trees in the breeze. The land was cursed by the plague brought on by the Niskaru, but life gives way to death, as death will birth new life.
So, you made it to our camp. After seeing how you handled yourself against the Testament, I was hoping you might. Those of us in camp trust each other, but aid is not as forthcoming. I will be blunt. The Testament has taken something from me, and I want to recover it, intact. But I cannot do it alone. I was born in Rathir, and trained in the arts of magic at a young age. But when my brother Giran demonstrated greater ability than I, it was he who became my parents' focus. I was left to learn on my own. He is my twin brother. We spent our childhood together. Because of his command of magic, he was selected to join the Scholia Arcana. After that, he surrounded himself in studies. He changed. All this talk of magic and control. The mercenary. He has seen combat, I am certain, but for his kind, justice is always for sale. There is a bedroll over there if you need to rest up. It's not the best, but it's what I can offer you here. The marches are a main avenue from Erethel into Datir, but many choose not to walk the road in these dark times. My brother Giran, they did not take him per se, so much as seduce him. He was a promising adept of the Scholia Arcana, and then one day he vanished. When I heard of the Testament's involvement, I feared the worst. I managed to track him here to Galette. Then I discovered just how large the presence of the Testament was in these marches. He would not have. Giran, he was always alone, always with his studies. He was wise, so very wise. There is no chance that he joined the cult willingly. They must have coerced him. Then again, his last letters to me were... No, nothing. Never mind. Excellent. I have resources at my disposal for a reward if we are successful. I have reason to believe that he is hiding in the ruins that run beneath the marches, this tomb of Ferragnus. I will meet you there. Hopefully, this cult has not sunk its claws too deeply into Geran's mind. It is a large and ancient Irathi ruin, somehow connected to the complex at the end of the canyon. Legends say it winds and twists beneath the marches like a labyrinth. Many who entered never returned. The tomb of Ferragnus is an underground ruin beneath the canyon. It might lead us to him. I fear the Testament's presence will be strong in there. They seem drawn to the tomb.
Yes. So you're the Dreg Colm found gutting the Testament. Good for him, I say. Looks like you can do some damage. Name's Eighth. Black Eighth to some. If you're half as skilled as Colm says, then I'd like to make an arrangement with you. He's quiet. Probably knows all his letters by the looks of him. More at home in a library than these ruins. He's earnest enough, but who knows whether he can hold his own in a fight. Eighth Dunbert is dead. She was killed 2 years ago when the Testament burned her farm to nothing. I'm now the fury and vengeance of all the Testament's victims, and I have come to collect. A cowardly man. A few battles don't make a warrior. He may find something to fight for, then again, he might not. Was a nice place to be once, before the Testament decided to move in. I'm not much on history, but from what I've seen, that ruin sprawls under the whole canyon. If you see a place you can't get to over land, odds are the tomb will get you to it. The Testament has swept through the Feylands like wildfire. A few years back, they came to my farm, salted the earth, left not a stone standing. They tore my husband to pieces in front of me. Their mistake was to let me live. I have a chance to make them suffer, and my plan takes two. I don't rightly know, Dreg. Why don't you go ask them? Sorry. The Testament, they believe death to be salvation for all. But though they killed my family, they let me live. The bastards thought I would join their cult. Good, but we're not just going to hunt them down. We'll poison a few, and then dump the bodies into the Testament's water supply. When those bastards start choking on their own water, they'll regret letting me live. Their water flows from a cistern nearby. We'll need to go through the tomb of Ferragnus to reach it. I'll meet you in the ruins. I want to poison a few of these Testament bastards and dump their bodies into the cistern. That'll corrupt the cult's water supply. When they're inside, start to burn. When they see the corpses of their brethren tainting the water, I want them to remember the life they took from me. Okay, now that we're in the tomb, we have to make our way to the cistern.
So you're the one my brother dragged here. Why? Did he tell you to save me from the Testament's influence? You were both fools. I joined of my own volition. Do you need proof? Look to the bodies at your feet. You gaze upon my work. Because they offered me what no one else could. A chance to grow. To do what has never been done. I always wanted control. And the Testament will supply me with all the subjects I require. You are correct. I am better than the rest of the Testament. Being a servant of Balin has made me more powerful than ever.
I did not think Giran's resolve could fall so fast. You heard what he said. Ferragnus, waking? There is more to the Testament's presence here. In Giran's name, we must find what they want. I would be lying if I said her rage did not frighten me. I heard the Testament left her alive to suffer with deep wounds of grief. I think they will regret their decision.
was Feragnos, or why it was entombed here. The testament was it can't be correct. Then it's finished. In a few hours, those bastards will know what we did here. That's it then. 2 years of planning, of tracking, finished. I didn't know what would happen, but I don't feel anything. I've killed how many of the Testament, and I feel nothing at all. You're right. I didn't murder them so that they could find salvation. I only wanted justice. I didn't know what the Testament was up to when I first came, but I found these on one of the ones I killed. I don't know much about this Niskaru Feragnos, but the Testament is interested in him. From now on, I'll keep 2 eyes on their doings.
I can see in your eyes that you have come to the same conclusion we have. Thank the gods. The Testament is on the cusp of raising the Niskaru Lord Feragnos. When they do, all of Detir will be plunged into flame. Agreed. Unfortunately, we are too late. The beast has already entered this world. I can sense its presence. But Feragnos is weak now. It will take some time for him to develop, to mature. We should strike while we have the chance. Given enough time, Feragnos will develop into a full Niskaru Lord. But while in a juvenile state, it is vulnerable. We just have to get there and hope we are strong enough to fight it. We are all going in there together. We may have come for different reasons, but none of us will leave this unfinished. It seems that Feragnos has housed itself in the complex at the end of the canyon. The only way in is through the catacombs of his tomb. We will meet you in there. Now, let us move.
Now is not a good time, but what do you need?
Time runs short. Let us speak quickly. The testament was cleverer than I gave them credit for. From the look of things, this door will only open if someone is standing on the switch back there. We don't have time to break down the door. Someone is going to have to stay behind to keep this open. Very well. You have to keep going and stop for Agnes before it is too late. I will be fine, truly.
I've seen some war in my life, but I never saw a fight like that. He might have been an Iskaru lord once, but now he's just a memory. The Testament still has a coven in these canyons. I'll stay here and make sure they never try this kind of thing again. But you've got other wars to fight, I can see it. Take a trophy of your killings. The world should know what happened. The Alpha? He seems wormy. Decent enough, though. And can't deny that magic's useful to have in a fight against these bastards. The Olmane? She's fair to look at, to be sure. But I'd wager it's safer to take a greatsword into your bed than her. I don't know what the future holds for the Marchers, but it's my duty to make sure that Feragnos never gets another chance. A dark place, that. I heard about it during my time in the Warsworn. It's meant to keep that thing in. Would avoid it if I could.
Good day.
Welcome back. What can I do for you? Safe travels.
You are expected. This is Ironfast, Warsworn. Here, you will find dust on our helms and scores on our blades. We believe in action above finery and show. If you seek work, supplies, or shelter, they are yours. It is a hard, harsh country, well suited to the life of the Warsworn. Gwyn's been here for several days, nearly turned our library upside down. I hope she found what she needed there. This is the Detir Bastion of the Warsworn, and I am its castellan. We have a blacksmith and quartermaster. Both are in the south wing, that way. The Warsworn have been many things. The tale is told on the walls and the tomes in this very keep. What we have always been are bold, unflinching fighters. You need not be Warsworn to take contracts. The board is in the south wing. Ask Adrith about it if you like.
Now who's this? I've grown so used to the same few drifters coming in for supplies and the contract board. A fresh face is a welcome thing. I'm the curate of this keep. If you've a contract to turn in, bring it to me. The quartermaster to our keep, she stocks all we need to get by out here. We're proud to stand where we do, here among the wilds. First keep and last bastion, the Castellan likes to say. That's Oda. She's a good sort, though not a woman of words. Anything you need's found in the smithy. You've got Heki for most things and Gavroche for blacksmithing. I'll be honest, he's not much of a blacksmith, but he's all we've got at the moment. Poor little lad. Other keeps get their work here and there, high and low. As for us, ever since Odessa was built, we've had one solemn task. Watch the Jotun. Hold them back, hold them south and west of Gnomish lands. It's right beside me. The work's open to any and all. When a contract's done, they come to me for their pay. When there are open jobs, and there's good proof they've been done, then yes, I do. All right now.
Rotting hell, the sun is fierce today.
My poor old master had but one dying wish, that his prize blade, the one on the wall, be mended. Some days I dream that I'll do it myself. Then I remember, I'm a poor untrained apprentice who can barely forge a soup spoon. Master Braskin took me in, being an orphan and found by the Warsworn and all. He let me live here, began to train me in the craft. Well, don't expect anything remarkable, or even decent. Show me what's broken, and I'll see what I can do. Which isn't much. Master Braskin, yes. I'd endure every drunken lashing anew, if it meant I could learn blacksmithing right and proper. Been good to me since the day they found me, tucked in among stolen sacks of grain. Why, that's Haldabeer's blade. It's famous. From the Fey Wars. My old master always said he'd fix it right again. Might have, if he'd lived. Now it just hangs on the wall, taunting me, reminding me of all I'm not. In battle, oh, it's a wondrous tale of how Halderbeer slew his foe. I'd tell, but I don't think I could do it justice. Repair the sword? Not likely. There's one man living who can, and he'd rather eat nettles and stare at the sky than raise hammer to anvil. You can find the Hermit Smith yourself, up in the Menethir Heights. But don't expect much. A hero's sword. Like its owner, it fought and died in glory on the battlefield. Just as I'll die miserably behind this forge. Dinwell's his name. Word has it he grew bitter of all mortal kind at the start of the war. But I wouldn't know. I've never talked to him.
I'm quartermaster here. Tell me what you need and I'll see what I can do. The old blacksmith died 3 moons ago. Gavroche is... that boy's barely trained. What do you expect? It's a hard, dangerous place. Jotun above, spiders, thieves, and kobolds down below. They've always lived in the heights of Menethir, and we have always watched them, weapons at the ready, and held them back when we must. They're the newcomers to this land. They crawled up through the ground from who knows what deep caverns. That's me. I'll sell you what you need, and if you need a blacksmith, well, what we've got for one's over there. If there's fight in your veins and steel in your bones, you're war-sworn. If you die before you break an oath, you're war-sworn.
We're fighters here, not toy soldiers. We're fighters here, not toy soldiers.
The Warsworn are more than just warriors, you know. We have a history full of heroes and great deeds. But I'm sure you've heard the old tales of the First Sworn. Everyone has. Caerwyn was Aegon's daughter, and the only person who surpassed him in armed combat. She died by treachery. So we swear upon her blood, which should never have been spilt. Aemon taught his son Aegon the secrets of fighting Niskaru, and of crafting war-sworn arms and armor. There was some kind of magic in it, though magic was unknown to humans then. Our founders were no mercenaries. They were great heroes who slayed Niskaru and battled evil mages. Aemon, Aegon, Caerwyn, all the first sworn champions right until the Second Oath. If this place looks like a bit of a scholar's archive, it's because it is. Ironfast has changed little since Caerwyn herself had it built. I have a sister in the Scholia Arcana. You could say that her love of old and wondrous things took a different turn than mine. Caerwyn had been dead nearly 70 years, and the last Niskaru had gone from the Western Feylands. It was a time of crisis for the Order. Find a purpose, or fade away. Then Balagar stood forth and pledged us to honorable work. He made us what we are today. Mercenaries. Some call him the last hero. Others, the first sellsword. Say what you like. He saved our order from the brink of irrelevance. Balagar had a clear vision of our future. Honorable work fighting for hire. As for our past, it went to the chronicler Dorian, so it would not be forgotten. First runaire or chronicler of the Warsworn, he wrote histories and tales of the First Sworn. Though it is said he left some things untold, secrets kept for the Warsworn only. Up in Helmgard Keep, they'll tell you we're just fighters in fine armor. But it's not true. We bear the legacy of the First Sworn. We still swear our oaths in their names.
Good day, Warsworn. Would a sagecrafter's services be of interest? A great city, if ever there was one. A monument to science and industry. I've been here enough to see he's not long for Ironfast. The Warsworn are too kind to say so, even to strangers, but a keep needs a proper blacksmith. Warsworn let me stop here in my wanderings in exchange for my service. Good folk, if a bit rough-hewn, and no place feels safer. A diserased, Basilica Nostra trained, and worldly wise, fully versed in the ways of gems and sockets. I've got my certificate here with my things. I might have stayed and taught, but my spirit's more the wandering sort. So much art and science to the fitting of a gem. Harmonies, geometries, fine acts of dexterity. May you find your socket.
There you are. You have the remains of the hammer. It is... I should have expected this. It was forged in the Hall of the First Sworn. It must, I think, be reforged there. The hall is not far, only... I don't know what to do when we get there. The hall lies south through the canyons. Meet me there. He has gone to free the Niskaru Lord. Pray we are not too far behind to stop him. Not all our wisdom was left to gather dust on Eamon's Isle. I have learned the location of the Niskaru Lord's mountain prison. But first, we must deal with that hammer. That means the Hall of the First Sworn. Legend tells it is there that Eamon was transformed from a prince to the first of the Warsworn. It became a meeting place of sorts in the time of the First Sworn. I haven't been here since I was young. It is as full of old books and dusty scrolls as I remember. We need it restored if we hope to defeat Beeson. And for that, I'm afraid, we must journey to the Hall of the First Sworn. They are powerful beyond anything you could imagine. This one was called Karmazandu, the Deceitful One. The text claimed the Arathi themselves imprisoned him in the mountain, after he proved too clever to kill. Yes, Time is short. The Hall of the First Sworn is south and east, through the canyons. Meet me there when you are ready.
Shield, brother.
Yes?
Welcome.
We see few enough strangers in Ironfast.
They rush about as if their destinies did not stretch out before them, clear and immutable. Poor fools. It is said my attunement to fate is especially keen. I can see the paths of everyone I cross, stretching before them, but not yours. I have come here, for it is here I was to come. How could I do otherwise? I see fate's ends too clearly to resist. Some are trained in weaving fate. It is a knack that revealed itself to me at an early age. My parents were delighted at first, then horrified, as I had foreseen.
Ah, what have you got for old Fargil the healer today? A nice spider bite? A punctured lung, perhaps? I trained under the luminaries of Odessa, but I have always found fascination in a live specimen of the medical arts. Have you ever been? It's some leagues to the east. A marvelous city. One of, well, mental giants, if you will. You couldn't find a better corner of Amalur to practice the art. More poisonous and dangerous things out there than you could imagine. Though I will admit, Cluricon may have us beat for disease. It's wonderful here. They come to me with the most remarkable ailments. How I would love to visit. The diseases they have there. Perhaps one day it will be safe enough to go. Beautiful creatures. They're nature's alchemists. Make poisons, silk, miasmas, you name it. So long.
Shield brother? Dust, dents, and scars.